There we are.
And we're live. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well, man. Very, very well. How are you doing?
Good, man. How are you, bro?
Very good, very good. Another live event. Actually, how long ago was it? Like one and a
Oh,
half months?
yeah, I want to say around 6 weeks.
September, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, so time's gone pretty fast, to be honest. I think it's definitely been
Definitely.
overdue, isn't it?
It's good to be back.
Yeah,
Very good.
100%. I'm looking forward to the one today. We're going to be able to go more in depth and get some like proper, real deep and genuine insights. So, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Definitely. Of course, first live events always. It's for us also a learning moment. Obviously, it's to check and see what's working and what can be improved. So I think for today we've chosen to invite two guests to also put more focus on the guests and what you mentioned to more of a deep dive into their head, their vision, their strategies. I think both Jans have an incredible story. They were already there, of course, like in last live stream or in last live event. But it's nice to go a little deeper today.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%. 100%.
How are you doing? How's London?
London is great. Well, I was going to say it's great. I mean, it's pretty sunny today. It's all right. The weather's pretty chilly. I don't know if anyone in the audience is actually from London itself, but yeah, it's gotten a bit colder this year, a bit earlier than expected. So yeah, we're
Across all Europe,
surviving.
right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we haven't had any snow, unfortunately. Hopefully, we'll get some this year, but I'm definitely not expecting any. So yeah, it's all good in London, man.
Nice. All right, let's I think dive into it. But before we take the guests on, and before we invite both gentlemen to the stream, I think we will do a little introduction. We'll do a little Q&A. We've already got some incredible questions from the community for Bright Funded, so I will definitely answer them beforehand. So I think it's great to start with that. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Do you want me to shoot off the first question?
Let's get it.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. So the first question that I saw was, what does 2026 look like for Bright Funded?
Yeah, I saw this one, and it's definitely an interesting question. I think we've already touched based on this, and also in a previous live event, but things are sometimes changing a little bit. While it didn't really change a lot, but I think in the last live event we were on the brink, or we just launched MT5.
Yeah.
So I think it was exactly during that period. So obviously, with the launch of MT5, we onboarded a lot of new users, a lot of new traders who prefer trading on MetaTrader, joined Bright Funded, which we are extremely grateful for, to provide them with the experience we provide to our traders. So actually, since the last live event, a lot has changed. We experienced a very, very positive growth. And right now, with MT5 on board, on Bright Funded, we have that foundation that we were always looking for in the past 2 years since we initially launched 2 years ago, September 2023. And right now, 2026, we actually just finalized the complete 2026 strategy for upcoming year. For us, both internally and externally, it's all about optimizing internal processes, optimizing the user journey for all of our traders. So we're gonna scale our tech team. As you guys know, probably we build everything in house. We have our own tech team, led by Marcelo, and yeah, we're gonna scale our tech team early 2026. We're already busy with that. We already made some new hires to the tech team, which provide us with the possibility to optimize our processes internally and externally even more. So what does this mean? optimize payout processes, optimize account review processes, so that everything goes faster and that every step of the user journey goes faster, more smooth, and will also be more engaging, because we also like to make the journey more engaging in terms of graphics, in terms of like the real experience the trader is going through from starting a challenge to eventually becoming funded, and eventually getting a payout. So that maybe sounds a bit broad, but we want to really focus on making that journey more rewarding with our trade to earn program. So we're gonna also enhance and expand our trade to earn program, making the use case of trade to earn wider, and also making it more in a way that it will even more benefit you as a trader inside our ecosystem, with getting perks, getting discounts on challenges, and even unlocking free challenges. So that's all part of like optimizing the complete product with our expanded tech team, which we're going to do early 2026. And that's basically the main priority. We made our mark to basically the industry already. Right, Funded is already a pretty well established name. We have the trading platform stack right now to really grow. And secondly, is we've already, of course, talked about it also in the previous live event. I think what I remember, we got a question from one of the attendees about a futures vehicle for Bright Funded. This is definitely in the back of our mind, but it's something we want to build and something we want to start building after we completely optimized the journey, the user journey on our CFD vehicle. So when that's completely optimized, and when it's like a 10 out of 10, which we think, when we think it's a 10 out of 10, then we're going to start to build a futures vehicle, because that's definitely on the roadmap, but never before we completely automated and optimized Bright Funded CFD. So that's it.
Yeah, it sounds like a very promising year coming ahead. And you've actually just answered one of the questions in the chat, actually, because I think someone was asking if Bright Funded are ever going to look into futures. So
that's great.
Yeah, there's your question answered. I can't find your name who originally asked the question, but yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting year for us. So make sure you follow us along on the journey. Another question that we had was, now that we're almost at 10 million in payouts, how does that milestone reflect the journey so far? Because I feel like it's been just over 2 years now, and 10 million in payouts is it must be a crazy thing to like think about, because it's now been manifested. So how has it been?
Definitely. So it's definitely a huge milestone in just over 2 years. Of course, there are firms that do it even faster. We do it at our own pace, because we never want to compromise the quality of service we are delivering. So I think like we can be pretty straightforward with it. It's like 10 million in payouts. It really adds to the promise that we actually, basically what we say, what we're gonna do, and we tell the people that we're doing. So it reflects the promise of building a solid, sustainable product for traders, that we can really provide the traders that opportunity, reflecting in our prop firm match reviews, Trustpilot reviews, and it's just an incredible milestone, not only for us but also for our traders, because essentially the traders are the ones who creating the payouts and creating performance in our ecosystem. So I think it's a shared milestone for both us and also the traders. So basically the whole community around Bright Funded, and it's actually just reflecting the promise we're delivering and the promise we're mentioning already 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a great journey, and I think you have to have a great product and a great service to actually get to 10 million in payouts, because I feel like there's just so many companies in this space. And I think the fact that we prioritize
Definitely.
always having human support and always being there for our traders is really what's helping us get to that next level completely organically. So yeah, definitely a great milestone
Definitely.
and yeah, huge accomplishment. I've been seeing quite a few questions around how the giveaway's working. So essentially, we're going to be handing out a few of the challenges periodically just throughout the stream. So it could happen after some of our trading segments. It could happen within the next 5 minutes. Who knows? So you just have to essentially just make sure you stay tuned into the live. And then when the time is right, whoever's actively engaging in the chat, you'll probably have the best opportunity because we just got our admin in the chat just scouring through all of the comments to see who's really engaging. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for the giveaways because yeah, as mentioned, we'll be giving away 200k challenges. So be on standby. Then I had another question. What do you think is the number one thing that separates Bright Funded from all the other firms?
That's a very good question. So I think I'd like to mention a couple. First of all, the transparency. We're really built on transparency. And I know a lot of firms are saying, okay, hey, we're all about transparency. But for us, it's really a big thing. And you, Eduardo, you also know it. All the guys behind the scenes at Bright Funded, everyone that's working at Bright Funded. In our company meetings, we always talk about transparency and that we really want to build that sense of transparency to our traders because for us, it's everything. And for example, this is also reflecting in like the automatically tracked payouts that we integrated with PropForMatch. Our tech team integrated with their tech team. So all of our payouts are instantly auto-tracked on PropForMatch. You can see it. It's all verified by them. This is not something like a lot of firms are doing in the industry. I think a couple other firms are doing it as well. We are doing it because we really believe in that everything should be just as transparent as it can be. Of course, we can't share like everything, but the payouts, which is like one of the most essential factors of a prop firm, like a modern prop firm, this is something we are always extremely transparent about. Every payout is tracked directly at PropForMatch. You can see that at their website. So for us, it's all about transparency. And with transparency also comes, for example, you already just like touched base on it, but the support we're delivering, we always try to be as transparent as possible also in the support. We have like a full personal live support. We don't make use of any complicated AI chatbots. If you're going to our customer support, of course, you are going through, first of all, like a automatic flow. So we can categorize your question or your thing that you'd like to discuss. But after that, you're always going to be redirected with a live agent, someone on the other side of the screen who is helping you live, who is like digging into our CRM. So that person can help you just as a person and not basically as an AI chatbot. So these are just like two things which are for us extremely important. Besides that, I firmly believe that we offer a few extremely great features for traders, which make their journey, first of all, faster. We offer weekly payouts. And second of all, also even more rewarding. 15% challenge phase profit shares, for example, not a lot of firms are offering. I think from what I know from the top of my mind, one other very big firm is offering this as well. So these are like just a few of the things that I firmly believe in that we really excel in. But where I am most proud of, and actually what the company is most proud of, is the transparency we're delivering and the quality of support, because this is something we're heavily investing in. And for a trader, if I am going to trade at the firm, like support is so important. If I have an issue or if I have a question, I want someone on the other side of the screen that is helping me like live, that it is a person and responds within seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And at Bright Funded, we basically have it all. Our agents responding in seconds and are always there when you have a question.
Yeah, spot on. I think, especially in this day and age in 2025 with the rise of AI, I think it's common to, when you go into a chatbot, to expect to get an automated response from yeah, again, a AI chatbot, and then you never really feel like your issue is going to get taken care of. But yeah, I think being able to have that human connection is really what can set us apart from like any other firm. So yeah, totally agree. Okay, nice. I see a lot of
Exactly.
questions coming through. And I'm just
Maybe let's do just one more, and then we move to the first guest.
yeah. All right, sweet. Um, last question. Let me pick one out from the chat real quick. Um, let's see. I see a lot of people asking about a trading view integration. Is this something that we'd ever look into in the future? Because I feel like that would be potentially awesome addition.
Definitely, definitely. So I just mentioned already that 2026 for us is all about improving our product offering and streamlining operations both internally and externally, which also means that we'd like to improve our offering. So this is definitely something we look into. To manage expectations is not something that's coming next month or next 2 months. Probably if we're going to launch it, it will be somewhere probably in summer or maybe even after summer. But it's definitely something we're looking into, because I also know, and we also know as a company, that TradingView is still a very preferred trading interface by traders. Of course, MetaTrader is by far the most preferred trading platform, but being able to trade on TradingView is definitely also a very preferred option for traders. So it's something we look into, but also to manage expectations. We don't want to make any false promises, of course. It's not something that will come on a very short note. But if it will come, most probably somewhere later.
Okay, nice. Thank you. So yeah, I think that's just answered all of the questions. And with that, I think we are ready to go into our first guest. Really, really looking forward to this. For those that were in attendance last time, he came on and dropped a ton of value, and we actually had to cut it short, unfortunately. But we've got some more time today, so really looking forward to hearing all of the different gems that he'll have on. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Jella. And without further ado, I think it'd be great to welcome Jordy.
Definitely.
Well, hey, yes,
Hey, what's
bro.
up, guys?
What are you saying, bro? How are you, man?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me again.
Nice. Of course, we had to have you on, man. Yeah, I think, as I just mentioned, I feel like last time you were just like dropping so much, and I wanted the conversation to go on, but I think it was just a thing of we just almost ran out of time. So, yeah, I'm glad to get you back on and just hear more of essentially what you have to say, man. Just to hear more about your journey, your trading experience and expertise. So, yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, same. I think today is going to be more a technical one. I think that's going to be great for people. I think Zamco is going to be more day trading, active trading. So I'm prepared some stuff that I used to get these high payouts, how to determine swing trade positions, how you can really indicate, because I see a lot of people. I try to look at what most people's mistakes are. And I think there's going to be some great value for people who try to catch falling knives and stuff, reversals. So I'm going to bring
Ooh.
some value on that today.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that. Well, I think if you're ready, I think we can essentially just get the ball rolling straight away.
Let me
So
share
yeah,
my screen. Let's check. We're all good?
nice. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, just fine. Perfect.
All right. Awesome. So for today, we have about 30 minutes, more or less. So what I wanted to share with you guys is going to be a little bit sharing the strongest point of my strategy, what I use when I take swing trade positions. Because I see a lot of traders, they use change of character or change in delivery, whatever you call it, market structure shifts. But they don't look at the overall picture. So for me, I'm going to share one of my strongest tools in my toolkit today. I'm going to be doing it randomly. So I'm going to first explain how you can use it, why does it work? And then, of course, we'll do some live examples. I'll just go to a blank chart without knowing what has happened, and I'll share with you how really good it is. Because obviously, if I go to a chart and I'll just say, here it happened, here it happened, here it happened, well, there's obviously no value because it's in hindsight that we can see everything. So I'm going to share with you first theoretical part of it, and why it's so crucial. It's something that is based off liquidity, order flow, and a bit Wyckoff, but Wyckoff is quite difficult for beginner traders. So I made it a bit simpler, used liquidity and order flow combined, but it has some features of both worlds. So let me start by explaining what most traders usually do. They look at market structure, they look at order blocks, they look at order flow, liquidity, whatever it might be, that they use to determine their targets or a trend in the market. So if we start out, most people will trade like this. This is just very simple. We'll go in depth later, but they'll use something like this while we have higher highs, higher lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we have this first higher high. And they'll do something like this when we have a change of character, market structure shift, and they'll probably enter basically like this, stop loss behind underneath the low. And this is probably what a lot of traders do. And for the people in the chat, I'll try to have a glance at the chat once in a while. You probably know that this probably happened a lot to you. Where you try to take these positions, also for me. And I wanted to figure out, and I spend a lot of time into understanding why this happens and how we can eliminate these stop losses and how we can take better swing positions. So that's basically the main focus of today, how you can do that with some kind of, I don't really have a name for it. In our group, we call it the Mambo number 5 because it has 5 simple steps. But we don't really have it's kind of Wyckoff liquidity. So pay attention, take some notes, please go and backtest this. Don't just believe me on what I'm saying, but actually go and see why it works. Otherwise, you'll not be able to use it correctly. So basically the first key thing is whenever we are making a reversal, you know the quote, we don't want to catch a falling knife. So what we're going to do and what we're going to focus on, and number 1 for me is always a key level in the market. This only works, and it's so important, people. Number 5, yeah, it's actually a really great one because a lot of people will use this randomly in the market and still take stop losses. But if you use this at a key level, so that's basically number 1 for me. When we have a key level in the market, can be a daily high, a daily low, weekly high, whatever it might be for you. But most of the time, it's going to be a strong liquidity point. So that's already going to be number 1 for me. Let's just do this. Strong key level. And of course, I hope you all understand that it's going to be daily highs, daily lows. In this case, can be anything, but strong liquidity levels, that's how we're going to do this. Then basically what you will see and what I want to see, let me actually change this drawing a little bit. Usually what you will see or want to see is something like this at our key level, which is our step 2. And that's when we take out all internal liquidity before we go to the external liquidity level. Why is this an important one? And I'll just make a little text here. So there's going to be 2. It's going to be internal liquidity swept. It's quite important. A lot of people don't pay attention to this. Let me make it a little bit smaller. So why is this important? Because if we do get that change in state or change of character, whatever, the chances of price just sweeping above this and doing this are just gone. Because if that liquidity hasn't been swept, then price might, let's say we have this, then we can get this scenario, and then you take a change of character trade and you're like, okay, you get a stop loss. So this is quite important for me that we have, first off, the strong key level, but then it only works, this framework, on a strong key level. Then we have that internal liquidity sweep. That already combined is quite strong. If you get a change in state right now, it's already going to give you a strong indication that you shouldn't short anymore, but it's not yet the trigger to get a long position. So whenever we get that change of state, this is our second step, when I put it like this. So whatever we, ICT traders will, let's just find a new word. Let's do it in Dutch, just keep it funny. So there's a lot of words for this, but we changed, it's going to be too difficult for people. Wait. So we call this a change of character or market structure shift, which is basically our third point that we need to see. We need to really break the structure. Let me put this here. We need to break the structure that created the manipulation or the push down, whatever you want to call it, the last push into the strong level, that structure is the one we want to see our change of character in. So it's quite simple. You just look at structure, you look at that one thing that's swept, and that's the one you want to see change in delivery. So whenever that happens, that's quite a strong indication that we are building our reversal, and we can look for setups. Also, what is a quite strong indication is that usually we have a lot of liquidity levels built up here. So like this, we'll have liquidity all built up here. So that's also a strong indication that there is a reversal coming, and we might be hunting for those liquidity levels. I can keep talking about this, like market maker models and stuff like that, but let's keep it not too. Let's keep it simple for today. So having this is quite interesting. A lot of people will already trade this, but still, as a trader, we want to have our data optimized. So we want to have the least possible probability to lose a trade. So we want to increase our chances. So for me, usually whenever I take a trade, it depends on what the key level is. And if we have some correlation, we could also look for confirmation trades here. But what I found to be quite stronger, and anyway, you can do this on any time frame, but we'll do it on the 4-hour time frame today. What is more important for me is that we create some internal liquidity here. And that's actually, I forgot one thing. So we have 3, which is our change of character or change in state, whatever you want to call it. This is our most important part here, is that we have a buildup of liquidity. So this is, usually you see there's no selling pressure in the market. And then the final step, you could, I mean, if you have some experience and you have some other things that you can see in the chart, you could look for setups here. But for me, I'm trying to give you the strongest, most confirmed swing trade setup. But as a day trader, of course, there might be more setups to trade. What is the most beautiful thing that you can wait for? When you get that internal sweep, and then we get that second break, that's just, whenever this happens for me, this is our liquidity buildup and the sweep. Whenever we get that little push right here, then and we will do some examples to show you that it actually works quite well. Then you just know, because a lot of traders, they only trade on change of characters. But once you get that second break with the liquidity sweep, and why is it important with the liquidity sweep? So let's give you an example. When we get that 5th push, which is our break of structure or confirmation, whatever you want to call it, why is it important that we actually get that liquidity sweep? Because usually whenever we create this break and this hasn't happened, we still usually see that we get that liquidity and then we get this move. So if you would have traded that, you would still get a stop loss, because reversals are sketchy. You will see a lot of things playing at reversals. And if you've been trading for a while, it's always the same thing. When there's a continuation trade, you can just pretty much enter aggressively. But on reversals, there's always going to be, how do I say this in a good way, there's going to be a lot of playing happening at that level, manipulation happening. So you want to be sure that we have this sweep right here, and then we can just trade the continuation straight ahead from some PD arrays, some point of interest, whatever you like to call them. And this is something that I will show you today, and we will do live, and I'll just find some example how this works. It's quite simple, but it's crucial that everything in this plan works correctly. And of course, this is for active swing trades, but it can also be used for day trades. Whenever you know this is happening, you want to anticipate, you want to take a trade like a silver bullet setup or something here. When you see this thing happening and you see a lower time frame shifting as an active trader, you could participate here. It's more aggressive. But if you're just a swing trader, you want to get some clean swings without having to worry too much and have a high probability, this is going to be the place where you want to be in the market. And this is something that has given me a lot of payouts. So it's not fugazi, it's a real thing that I combined a lot of stuff that I've learned from trading all these years. So should
Jordy,
yeah.
Sorry, just a quick one. Because I'm learning so much myself, and I'm just like, I'm glued to what you're saying at the screen. And I've just seen a few comments come through. Because they're loving it as well. But some of them just have a few questions around the time frames. So one of the questions here is, what is your specific multi-time frame confirmation process? So which higher time frame would you use to align with the lower time frame?
Well, quite simple. For me, I use this play at the 4-hour because I'm a swing trader. I'll use the weekly and the daily to get my vision where we might move the next coming week, next coming days. But I won't use the weekly that much. I'll just look for arrays, like what was the last weekly close. And then at the 4 hour, this is quite important. Seeing this happening is going to really make my bias. But I combine it mostly with a daily. I want to see what the structure is on the daily. But usually we'll see, if it's not clear to you, you have to zoom out. That's always the key. So when it's clear to me on the 4 hour, I won't most of the time go to a daily or weekly. I'll just check if there's, like, for example, if there's like a big weekly array here, it's obviously not going to be the best play. So kind of use the weekly, but most of the times when we are at this key level, so that's why I put emphasis on that. When we are at that key level, there is usually always going to be some kind of relief, some kind of move coming here. But of course, you want to check on higher time frames what is happening here, so we don't push in some array right here and push price lower, which can happen. But most of the time, when you have all these criteria, usually you're going to create a big swing move. So only on the 4 hour, and then I'll move down to the 1 hour, 30 minutes, 50 minutes, not lower, because I think you're just the structure is not going to be that valid. I think 30-minute time frame is for me the best time frame to look for this this internal shift, and then I used to play it. And I'll show a live example. We'll actually do one right now. But if there's many questions, let me shoot. I'll try to have a quick glance at the chat. I made a screenshot of this, so if people really want to have the screenshot, they'll get it somehow, I guess. So I made a screenshot of it. But if you guys didn't, you can make a screenshot yourself, of course. So I hope you did. And if you have questions, of course, or want a screenshot, you'll just have to ask the guys, and they'll get it to you, I guess.
Yeah.
So let us get to an example. Let's just use I don't want to see the chart. Let's use a replay. I just want to show you, without knowing what the candles will do. Let's go back, because I've seen all price action for the last years. Let's just go back a long while, like maybe 2-3 years. Let's go back, because I know a lot of price action. I don't know, where are we? 21. Yeah, this might be good. I don't know. So let's give you an example of, so what we'll do. Of course, we have a bearish trend right here. So what I want to do with you guys is quite simple. We're going to find this reversal, and then obviously either long or bearish, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to show you how I would trade it, how my plan would trade it, and how you can implement it yourself. So I think this is going to be some great value for you guys, because this is basically how I've gotten all my payouts. Understanding this and just playing the full wave, taking the continuation, that's the thing how I do it. So I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm not going to do order blocks, everything. I'm just going to use liquidity, key levels, and then the Mambo number 5. Yeah, so it's gotten a name now. So first of all, we have some liquidity levels here, and actually we already have a great example. I'll just indicate some, this is a stronger one. I'll use a darker line for that. And then we also have this one at the bottom. So I'll just indicate some high lows, liquidity levels. As you can see, a lot of people would already fail here, because why? They'll see this as a shift. They'll see this as market structure, right? We have a low, a high, a low, and a lot of ICT traders, they'll see like, oh, we have a change of character. And I know you guys watching, you're gonna do this. You see this sweep here, and you're like, okay, I have to take a long here. I've been there, so probably you'll do something like this, and like, okay, we can trade this. So this system is going to help you not take these stupid losses. So let's look. I have no idea what's going to happen. It could play out, and obviously, if we have this, then okay, it's going to be confirmed. But looking at price action, this looks like a typical trap for me, where we still can take this low because it hasn't been swept. These are the first buyers, so I'll give you some extra information. We have the first buyers coming into the market right here. They haven't been taken out yet, so it's not going to be a strong reversal. And even though this looks like we want to create a reversal, probably we'll still go to that low. So I'll play some price action, not looking for a trade, see what happens. We get that low because obviously we weren't that bullish yet. We don't have the system. Now, in this case, we might have a strong key level, but it's not that strong. So usually I'll look for key levels right here. It doesn't really matter for this exercise. We'll just see it happen, and automatically when it's happening, we'll know there's a key level. So for this exercise, I will not indicate all the key levels. We'll just play price until we get a reversal. If we ever get one, of course. Oh, wait. I'm going a bit too fast here. This is already a great example. So if we look at this chart, we already have are levels that we still want to target right here in the market, especially this one, this double top liquidity, very nice. So having this reversal, let's look at it. I don't think we'll get an entry, but we can just look for another one later. We see the shift happening here, but we didn't trade it out. So for me, this is not the strongest reversal, might be a stronger key level, but we have this second part here where we have the internal sweep and we have the breakup. So obviously this is confirmed, although we didn't sweep this, it would have been the most perfect setup. But this is something that also confirms it for me, having the change of character, but we are just missing the sweep. So it could have been that we did this right here. So for me, right after this break, of course, I would look for longs. Let's look where we go. And then we can look at, let's wait for these key levels actually, because I don't think it's quite impulsive. Yeah, we don't get any setups right here. So we're leaving behind some liquidity. Let's play for the short here. Let's wait for a key level where we get the same thing. Okay, this is a great example where it's not just the case yet. Also, seeing and understanding how it works, you know that this isn't bearish yet. Why? Of course, we have a strong trend and we might have some liquidity build up here. But for me, it's not optimal until we get that bearish sweep. So if I want to play price here, a lot of people are going to try to short here because you see that change of character happening. But for me, it's not interesting yet. Just because this liquidity has not been taken right here, this liquidity. If we flip it, you'll see it. So this could still go lower. So for me, this is not ideal yet. So let's wait for the short here. The long was already here. It's not the perfect example. Let me give you, see, we go still bullish because we don't have that sweep. We don't have that internal push. And probably we're going to move to this level. And there is, again, a play that we could look at potentially. So probably you can play bullish setups here. I'm not going to go into them, but you could look for bullish setups here, whatever it is you want to do. And then we tap this level. So at this level, again, I could flip the chart. We're going to look. This is a very strong key level. So this is where my eyes go open. So we already have one. Let me put some numbers here. And probably we'll get a short here. Why am I saying that we'll get a short here? Let me actually adjust this. We have a lot of liquidity buildup. So I'll put all the internal levels. We have a lot of liquidity buildup. And then all the way to the downside, the beginning of that correction. So this is trend line liquidity on a higher time frame. So what we want to see here, we want to see the play happening. Let me check if we sweep this level here. If we continue bullish right now, I'll just play price a bit faster or not. Okay, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I can tell. First off, this is quite interesting. Double top liquidity, external level, sweep. So that's a bonus that we actually sweep this, which is very nice. Then we have this internal liquidity taken out. So right now, for me, this is starting to look very interesting because a lot of people, they don't know where we're trading at. They want to buy right here. They're like, oh, we're still bullish. Look at this AMD model, PO3 model, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Yes, I want to go long here. And a lot of you will. But for me, I'm just waiting because I know we're at the key level. We had this strong high created. There's not a change for me yet because this is a sweep. If we get the bearish sweep right here internally, this is where I get involved or look for involvement. If we get that push to the downside, I don't know if we get it though. We might. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. This is a perfect example. Actually, what happens here, we have this order block here tapped. We have this internal PO3 happening. So here you have accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And now this is the point where I'm like, let's trade it all the way to the downside. And I can take multiple positions. It's not like I'm going to just take one position right here and just take the full. We can do that for fun's sakes, but let's just look for one position, 3R, 5R, whatever you want to do. So let's give you guys, because I know I see chat like, where do you enter? How do you trade? Let's do that to round it up. So we have everything, right? We have our key level, which happened here. We have our internal liquidity swept, and we waited for that till we get this part right here, which is our tree, which is our liquidity buildup and sweep, this one actually. And then here we're getting, no, that's not what I want to do. Okay. So here we have our 4. And then, wait, did I put some numbers wrong? Which number am I forgetting? I don't know. But this is our last step we're getting. And now we can look for a setup. So this is interesting. We wait for that low to create it. Okay, so here I'm going to be looking for shorts. What I do, and this is quite interesting, I always look at the range that we created. So we have this high right here, and we have this. Let me use some darker lines so you guys actually see a range. We have this one, this one. This is where I start to look for my premium and discount. So I'll just draw a box right here. And then we look at, in this case, we're looking for a premium in this range where we want to look. So whenever price comes back, and you can see price will come back. Why? Because we see a lot of momentum coming bullish. So shorting here is going to not give you an edge in the market because we're trading at the equilibrium. You're just basically gambling right here. So you want to get into premium price action. And there is where I look for my confirmation. So waiting on this. I hope this trade plays out. Otherwise, I'm screwed. But this is basically all I do. Win or lose, this is how it's going to give me the highest edge in the market. And this is quite nice to see. We sweep this liquidity. So if we push to the downside, this is not going to be swept anymore because it's already taken out liquidity. So it's actually becoming quite stronger. And I'll move to the 1 hour time frame. Here is where I look for confirmation. Just want to see that change. And then we take an entry. So let's see what price does. If we get some kind of shift right here. Okay, this is going to be very nice. We trade above this. We don't break it. We fault break it. We sweep it. And if you look at the 4 hour, it's going to look very nice. So we come back to an order block, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter. It's more important what's happening here. And then you'll just look for a shift in structure here. If we get it, well, that's quite nice. So here we shift, and this is what most people know as our confirmation entry, or you can take this low. It doesn't really matter whatever low you take for this confirmation. For me, it's just doing the same thing over and over. I'll just take my array here. So I'll take this range. Let's see where we create the low. Let's say it's going to be somewhere here. Yeah, say this is our range. And then in that range, obviously, this is going to be my stop loss area. And then I just need to find premium again. And we have one beautiful array right here, which is our imbalance. So for me, this is where the optimal best edge swing position will be. And this is where I will put my limit if we come back. But you can see there's some liquidity building up here. Let me indicate it. So we have this liquidity here. So this is the most optimal trade for me to take. And that's how I execute my swing positions. And then this could be a banger all the way to the downside, which would be nice. But for me, this would be the play. Do we get 3R from that? We could put it a little bit higher to get 3R. This would be the play for me to trade it. So let's see where we go. Let's see if we get tapped in. And otherwise, you can look for continuation plays just based off this model. Not sure. I think this might be a news event, so I'm not sure if I would have kept my limit. I would have probably entered later, but this is looking interesting. Looks good, I think. Let me see. It's not good. This is golden. This is golden. This is going to hit TP, obviously. This is a great example. Let me see what happened. Oh, okay. This is a nice example of how I would take my positions. And then, just because I don't have that much time today, let's see what happens afterwards, because it's nice to take the first position to understand where we flipped and to get a very high probability trade. But let's see where this takes us to the downside if you really want to swing it. But obviously, as a trader, you would look for multiple trade continuations in this big move, because at any given level, we could see this, right? Because there might be some higher time frame array here. But let's just see what happens at these key levels. And we can just, let's draw it. Let's do some funding, 16R. This could be the play because we have this huge trend line, but it doesn't happen all the time. So let's see what happens. You could look for a continuation play right here. Here you could look for another trade. Oh, okay. That's a strong move. So we tap these levels. So obviously no reactions. So we can most likely go to this level. Jesus. I wish all my trades were this easy.
Melting, absolutely melting.
What the hell? Jesus, everybody going to be trading now like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so if this drops crazy again all the way to the bottom, I'm going to be, I don't know, okay. I'm going to like, what? But again, this level, we could still see that we're not reversing. So we could still look for shorts potentially. So if we get some reversal here, you could still look for a scaling. Like let's example this one here. Because we didn't flip just yet, we sweep this, we change, and this could be a scaling. So you don't have to swing the full leg, but we still have this target here, and potentially you can take this one. Not sure what's going to happen. So this is the second setup that you could take, and then you just drive it all the way home. Oh my God, this is such a great example. Yeah. Oh, you could look for a setup here. This sweep.
It just keeps going in it.
This why is the market not like this week? I mean, it's so easy. You could look for another setup right here, and then oh my God, it's gonna go there, right? And you could look for a setup somewhere right here. Let's go crazy. Yeah, you could. This is gonna be the one to bring it home, like this one on the imbalance. But I'm not sure you get a good RR. Well, you could still play it, and then let's see what we get. That might be a greedy trade, this last one. Normally I wouldn't take this one. This is if you're getting close to a key level, this is gonna really screw you, I think, in the end. But wow. If this is nuts. Okay, so this one doesn't play out. So that's why I'm saying this becomes greedy, but still, I believe, because it's not flipping just yet. It's not confirmed. Look at that.
Perfect.
You see how it plays
Yeah.
at this key level, and then you just have this beautiful position right here. I think that's it for
Jordy,
today.
Yeah, honestly, absolute masterclass. And yeah, I can see through all of the comments, everyone absolutely loved it. You've got in so much detail, and I think a lot of people don't usually go into this much detail, but they know everything that's required when actually analyzing the chart. So yeah, you've just given a perfect top-down analysis and shown a live example. So yeah, thank you so much. And of course, if there's any questions, we can just add the Q&A at the end. We can answer all of them because I know there was a few coming in throughout your analysis. So we can just catch up then, okay? But
Awesome.
yeah, again, thanks so much again, my bro. And then we'll catch up in like 30, 40 minutes.
All right, let's bring Zamco in.
Sweet, man. Let's do it, man. Thank you, brother. Catch you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jordy.
Nice.
Just what you mentioned, man. Absolute masterclass from our guy.
Yeah, absolute masterclass. And before we actually dive into Zamco segment, Jella, were you coming to announce the winners to a few challenges?
I think so, right? Because we have to announce it somehow and some way. So I think it's time to announce a few giveaway winners.
Let's do it.
That's great, man. So what kind of accounts are we giving away? 10K accounts?
Mm-hmm. So the first round of giveaways, we will actually be giving away 10K accounts. Our admin's been live in the chat, seeing who's engaged and seeing who's asking questions. And here are the following winners. What should we go back to back? I pick one, you pick one, and then go from there.
Let's do it.
Right, awesome. So there's going to be 5 challenges given away, and the first one that was selected was Alone But Happy 2285. Alone But Happy 2285.
Congratulations. So for the winners, please send an email to Ilyas@brightfunded.com with a proof of your YouTube account. So like a proof that it is your YouTube account, and then your free giveaway account will be activated. So send an email to Ilyas@brightfunded.com. Second winner is Trader Bull. Exactly, Trader Bull Middle Stripe FP.
Awesome. Yeah, our admins just actually popped it up on the screen. Elias, could you just reshare all of the winners so we can just quickly breeze through all of them in one go?
That's better. That's even better.
Yeah. And there we have it. So yeah, on screen, here are the 5 winners of the 10K challenges. So we have Alone But Happy 2285. We have Trader Ball -FP. We have SP King -S5Q. We have Pro Trader 2809. And we have 13 Harsh Biz. So yeah, huge congratulations. You've just won a 10K challenge.
That's it.
Okay, awesome. All right. Amazing.
I think it's time to bring in our next guest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if everyone over here has followed the gentleman's Twitter account or social channels, but he's been on some run, if we can call it like that, over the past few days. So definitely an interesting story to touch base on and to tap into, because I've not seen many traders doing it like him, honestly.
Yeah, me too. It's a crazy story. And I think he has an update today. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are tuned in to see. So let's dive straight in, man.
Yes. Cheers, guys, and
Sweet.
enjoy.
Catch you in a sec.
Hello, hello.
Yes. Zamco, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, the man who's making noise all over Twitter, man. Posted a very, a very incredible tweet yesterday. Before we go in, would you just like to touch base on what that tweet actually was?
Yeah, so basically, I deposited £2,000 into my live brokerage account 2 weeks ago, and just within this week, I flipped it to £320,000. So yeah, from 2,000 to 320. So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, interesting to say the least, man. That's absolutely scary, ridiculous numbers. And yeah, as Jella mentioned, I personally haven't seen anyone do that with a personal account. So honestly, huge congratulations to yourself. And I'm sure a lot of people actually want to dive in to see how you're actually able to have such success from the charts. So yeah, if you're ready, let's dive in.
Yeah, let's do it. So let me share my screen. This is a really textbook example trade, and I'll break it down fully for everyone. Right, so I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it? Okay, here we go. So my model is quite similar to Jordy's, actually. It's pretty much accumulation, manipulation, distribution, but it happens a bit differently. So in this scenario over here, very textbook, we can see that on the higher time frame, 15-minute, 30-minute, because a lot of people ask me what time frame, it doesn't really matter, but I go from weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30, 15, it doesn't matter. Overall, just looking at overall market structure, understanding where we are at what time. So I'm trading in London session, right? So this is my Asian range. So only after the Asian range has formed, only then am I looking at the market. So in this scenario, we can see price broke down. Let me mark that again. Price broke to the downside right here. You can see, very impulsive. And then what happened was we retraced up into his 15-minute and continued down. Now, very important to note, I use premium and discounts, just like Jordy. And if you mark out from your high to your low, from the structural high to your structural low, you can see, right? We mark that out. We can see the zone sits in a premium. Now, a lot of people would look at this inefficiency right here. They would think, oh, we have this 15-minute fair value gap, inefficiency, whatever, and they'll try to sell because they're like, oh, we're bearish, got a 15-minute, let's just sell. But the reason why a lot of times this fails is because price hasn't retraced into a premium area. So a lot of the times you don't want to be taking inefficiencies that sit below a premium area. So what you do in this scenario is you wait for this zone, which is up in a premium area. You can see it's above 50%. And now the interesting part is I trade the Asian manipulation quite a lot. So with this is German 40, by the way, for the people that don't know. So what we have is consolidation right here, just below this 15-minute inefficiency. That's a very, very good sign. And then we see in pre-London and London session, we start launching up, taking the highs of all of this consolidation, right? So now what I do, sorry, I think it's quite far back. There we go. So now what I do is I'm watching price. I'm looking at structure. It looks very messy. This wasn't the cleanest of trades, but in this scenario right here, price tapped the 15-minute inefficiency and we started pushing down. But we didn't actually have any structure to break. This was just one big move up, right? So we would have had to break this low over here. But what we can see over here is we push up again, then we push down, then we push up again. And this is London Open right here. Now we're tapping into the 15-minute inefficiency again. And then we push down, breaking this low right here. So that's what was key for me. So we broke this low right here. Not the best break, I know. You'd prefer to have like a candle close below, but we did in fact still break this low right here after tapping the 15-minute inefficiency. So then what I do is on the 1 minute time frame, I mark out my inefficiency again. And then again, I make sure that from this high to this low, that on the 1 minute time frame, this inefficiency is also sitting in a premium area. So from this structural high to this structural low, that push down to break this low, we retrace up into this 1 minute inefficiency that sits in a premium area. So that's where I took my sell. This is how I made the 30K trade, by the way, on one of my accounts. So stop loss above the high, entry at the inefficiency, and then you target either the Asian lows, which are unswept, which would have been a 1 to 4. I actually held this down to the previous daily low. So in this scenario, if I was to zoom out, we continue straight down to the daily lows, the previous daily low right there, and that was 1 to 15. Now I was aiming for 10%, so I aimed a bit lower, and that was like a 1 to 17, I remember. So there we go, just like that. You were able to catch a 1 to 17 risk to reward trade just because you aligned your higher time frame with your lower time frame. So a lot of people, they might just use one time frame to trade, but you don't need to do that. You can line up everything. The thing with trading and price and whatnot is everything is fractal. What happens on the higher time frames, the same things happen on the lower time frames. So why not take advantage of that? If we are in a higher time frame zone and then we're getting a lower time frame confirmation, and now structure is shifting bearish on the lower time frame, why not enter there with your stop loss above the structural highs on the lower time frame? But you're still targeting the overall higher time frame zones. So overall, we can see we are bearish, we're retracing, then bearish, retracing, bearish. Like that's what we're going to be expecting. We're expecting to continue the trend on the higher time frame, but your entries on the lower time frame, and that's how you get these higher risk to reward trades that really get you those huge payouts. Like you don't even have to risk much. If you even risk 1% on this trade, you would have made 17% on a 100K account. That's a 17K payout in one trade within what, like 8 hours or something. So it's not even like a swing trading position. It's just your risk reward is very high because you're entering on the lower time frames. So this is a very textbook setup right here. Very easy consolidation just below a 15-minute inefficiency that's sitting in a premium, and overall structure is bearish. So once we manipulate upwards, we drop to the lower time frames, we get your confirmation, and then you take your sells down to the previous lows. That's all you're doing. All you're trying to do is follow the flow of the market. That's all you're trying to do, right? Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, this is the Z flow model. That's my model, the Zamco flow model that I've kind of implemented. And this is how it works. I hope that's quite simple to understand. What about you, Eduardo? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense to me. Again, I'm just like taking mental notes and just like trying to learn, because I feel like a lot of traders skip parts of a strategy. And I think, as you mentioned, it's meant to be simple because you need to be able to follow it, but also it's almost like you're going through a checklist every time you enter, and making sure that the checklist is followed to ensure that the trade you're taking aligns with the higher time frame bias.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, 100%. Thanks so much for sharing. Like, it's literally how you said you made 30K from this trade, right?
Yeah, this was a 30k one. My payout is on like the 8th of December, so I'm just waiting on that. But
Okay, nice,
yeah,
man.
it literally like this is all that's going in my mind. This is all I'm seeing. It's like, okay, I'm ready to trade today's London session. Oh, we're manipulating this consolidation. We're just sweeping the highs. Oh, there's a 15-minute inefficiency, and it's in a premium, and we're overall bearish. Let's just take sales, and
Yeah,
then boom.
yeah. I've actually got a question from someone in the comments. They've asked, how do you stay patient when waiting for your exact setup on a trending day?
How do I stay patient? Well, I think initially I know it's very, very hard to stay patient for these things, but when you understand that that one trade that you win is going to make you a lot of money, I think at that point then you start waiting for it, because you know that along the way, if you're taking really bad trades, you're probably not even going to have like the daily drawdown ready. Like you're not going to be able to even trade for that day, and then you might see your actual trade setup show itself. So I know that if I just wait, I know that this will make me money. So I think it's very, very difficult to be patient for these types of things if you haven't made the money on it. But when you have had those big payouts because of the trades that you've waited for, that really trains your brain to just wait for that good setup, because you know that if you get those confirmations, it's going to be a very simple trade and you're going to make a lot of money. So I think having results to back it up helps with the patience. But initially, I understand it's very difficult, and it's something you're just going to have to wait for. And especially if you back test the strategy and you know that if you wait for this, it's probably going to work out like 80% of the time, then it's just very irrational to be impatient and take trades that you're not meant to, because you know statistically, if I wait for this, 80% of the time I'm going to win. So why not just wait for that?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a difficult thing to do, and I understand that.
Yeah. And I think you've just answered the next question I was going to ask. I can see that Tekken Long has asked, how did you realize you were profitable and not lucky when you got your first payout?
Okay. When I got my first payout, I didn't think I was profitable at that point. Then I got another 2 payouts. I still didn't think I was profitable. I made 10k. So it was 250k accounts, and I had made 10k. So my initial payout, first ever payout, was 2,000. Then my next payout was 5,000 and 5,000 from 2 accounts that were copied. Even then, I didn't think I was profitable. But then when I did another one, and that was 21,000, now I'm thinking, okay, I'm doing the exact same thing, but I'm getting paid out now every single time. And then I think after the 4th payout, I started thinking, okay, I think I am onto something that actually works and is getting me paid. And then since then on, I figured that, okay, this is a profitable strategy. And now you can see it's over 1 million in payouts since last year. So I clicked onto something at that point. So after like 4 payouts, that's when it clicked for me. And I thought,
Yeah.
yes, it's profitable now.
When it became real, and then you just gone absolutely crazy ever since.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. We've got a request. They've asked, is it possible for you to show an example on gold?
Yeah, definitely. I've been trading gold like every day. So I'll show you that right now.
What made you make the switch to gold, out of curiosity?
Because I noticed that in Asian range, we tend to move up quite well. So
Okay.
when gold was really, really trending, I believe, yeah, like here, I noticed
Look
that
at
in
that.
Asian range you could just keep like taking buys. But the thing is, why I'm on gold right now is because overall it keeps moving up. So all I'm waiting for is some sort of confirmation to take buys. So I'll show you a decent example. I believe, was it on Monday? Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, this was it. Let me go on to replay. Right. So this is what was crucial to me, right? It looks like a complete mess, which it is, but when you start looking at what happens on the lower time frames at what time, then it starts making a bit more sense. So in this scenario right here, sure, we are consolidating. Fair enough. I don't disagree with anyone. But we can see this is the last area where we finally started moving up, breaking these highs right here. Okay. That still means nothing to me, by the way. But you mark out your inefficiencies, right? You have one here, which already got tapped into, but your last inefficiency is here. Now, the thing is, I only really trade London and Asian. After that, I don't really care what happens. So all of this price action here is irrelevant to me. Only an Asian session am I eyes on. And now, when you look at the Asian range and you see what's happening in the Asian session. This is the trade that I took in Asian session, I remember. You can see price moved up from here, right? I missed this buy. But what I noticed afterwards was very interesting. What happened was we had a bunch of consolidation here, and then we pushed down and we swept this low. So we broke all of this consolidation. We pushed up. This still wasn't enough for me. Then we pushed back down. Again, this is all messy for me. But what made me really take this trade for the buys was right here. After all of this nonsense right here, I had just woken up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and then I saw that we started pushing up very impulsively. That now is very crucial to me. Wherever you're getting impulsive moves, that to me signifies, okay, something's going on here. There are big boys that are getting involved over here. Okay, how can I capitalize on this? So we start breaking structure to the upside. So we mark out your structural shift right here. Very simple market structure shift. Actually, this is more of a break structure. No, I would say market structure shift. Honestly, it's the same thing. Really doesn't matter. But from this low to this high, this is where the last big impulsive moves happen, right? So you can see on the 1 minute time frame, there's so many inefficiencies. Like in between each candle, there's one there, one bit below. Like there's so many, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what you can do is also just alter time frames just to make a more general zone. So I dropped to the 3 minute, and on the 3 minute, you can see that we have this right here. Okay, so we mark that out. We have one just above, but again, if you have one above and there's one just below, why not take the one that's below? Because if there's one below that hasn't been tapped into, more likely that's going to be tapped into eventually. So right there was a 3 minute inefficiency after we had impulsively moved up to break structure to the upside. So I marked that out and I took my buy the moment price tapped into it. And I put my stop loss below the candle that created that inefficiency, which was this structural wick low right there. And if you drop to the 1 minute time frame, you can see that it's just below the actual impulsive move. So technically, we shouldn't really be breaking this low. And then in this scenario right here, I was targeting the Asian highs. So this was this big wick high right there. And that was a simple 1 to 7 risk to reward trade. Within 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Within 3 hours, you've just caught 7% basically. So very simple. I'm just following market structure. Any sort of inefficiencies that are tapped on the left, whether it be a 5 minute, 15 minute, I'm just dropping timeframes and looking at structural shifts and just following the structure, following the flow of the market. That's all I'm trying to do. So yeah, this is how I catch trades on gold. It's just looking at lower time frame structure and how it's tapping into higher time frame zones and what's happening after we tap into those zones. But pretty much I'm just following lower time frame structure overall when it comes to gold.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Very, very simple, just market structure, inefficiencies, premium and discount, and you just follow.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the way you explain it is just amazing because I've seen a few comments like it looks so clean and you make it look easy. But of course, that comes with the wisdom and expertise that you've had over the last 6-7 years of trading. So it's definitely something that you build up eventually as time goes on.
Yeah.
And I do see a few questions. Someone asked, do you usually use a trailing stop loss when you're aiming for the bigger ones? So you just enter. Do you ever raise your stop loss to break even?
Yeah, I move my stop loss to break even, sure. But I don't really ever trail my stop loss just because it can be hit. And I don't want to deal with that psychology.
Yeah, that's fair. That does make sense, yeah. Let me see if I can find just a few more questions. Right, let's see. Okay, I think this could be a good question to answer because I feel like a lot of individuals would benefit from this. How do you mark up your premium versus discount?
Well, you just mark out your structural highs and lows. So in this scenario here, you look at structure. We pushed up, then we retraced, then we pushed up again. Okay, this is where the significant push happened. So from the low to the high of that structural move, you have your premium and discount. So you've just got your low and your high, and there we go. You see your inefficiency, it sits in a discounted area. So very, very simple. You're just following basic highs and lows, So we push up, retrace, push up. So that retracement is your next structural low. and then that's it. You're just following that. And then, like in this scenario right here, this would be your premium and discount in this situation right here. And then over here again, it would just be from this low to this high, and you're just following along basically. Sometimes it does get messy, I understand, but overall you're trying to follow the cleanest structural highs and lows.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, amazing, man. And I think just we'll take one more question. So let me just quickly have a look. Let's see. This could be quite interesting. What's your protocol for handling news events? Do you reduce size, sit out completely, or just adjust to the structure?
I pretty much stay out. When it comes to news, I just don't bother, because there's going to be, like, for example, if there's news coming along, I know prior to that, most likely price is just going to consolidate. So why bother? It's just going to be very, very tricky to trade. For example, my gold trades today, it's just been consolidating all day. Right now it's dumping, which is not good because I'm in buys, but but the point is that whenever there's news coming, I pretty much don't trade, especially on prop firms, because we know with prop firms there's so many rules around news trading. So I pretty much just stay out, and I don't really do anything until afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, amazing, man. Yeah, again, another masterclass. Thank you so much for obviously sharing your strategy and how you actually execute trades. For everyone watching, Zamco's made over $1 million in payouts. So what you're seeing is the real deal. This is exactly how we traded to receive the countless amounts of payouts. So whether you need to go back and study the live, also look at Jordy's strategy, take time to actually take notes and see how these traders trade, because they are the best at what they do for a reason. They've spent countless hours, and yeah, you're getting so much value in what they're sharing right now. So make sure you also take some time out to reflect back on the stream just to see everything that we've broken down. So yeah. Thank you so much, Zamco. I think we're just going to announce a few more winners of the challenges before we dive into like a little Q&A with Jordy as well. So yeah, we'll probably catch you in around 5-ish minutes if that's all right.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for having me.
That's sweet, man. Thank you, brother. Catch you in 5. Nice. Yes, welcome back, Jella.
The man, the myth.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, man. Yeah. Again, the strategy, I think there's not many traders that have such, like me personally, with my psychology, I know being able to hold out 1 to 10 winners, like for example, you showed a 1 to 17 I believe. It's just, it really comes down to trusting your bias. So I think you can see that Zamco really, really believes in the strategy, and he's got great reason to. I mean, having over $1 million in payouts is one of the craziest achievements. So yeah, man, that masterclass was amazing, man.
It is. Look, it's all about confidence, right? It's not only that's of course not only in trading, but I've talked to many very, very great traders, and they're also confident in their strategy, even after a loss, 2 losses, or either after a losing streak. They know the system is working over time. They know the probabilities are in their favor in a longer period of time, and they're not worried after a losing streak, because they just know that sometimes 1 or 2 months or like 3 months, a year can bring in all of the profits that they basically generate during that year. And the rest of the months, they, for example, are break even. But in these 3 months, it's their time, really their time, and they generate like huge amounts of profit. So the confidence you have in your strategy, in yourself, is extremely important. Of course, that's not only in trading, but basically in every aspect of life. If you're confident about what you're doing, what your values are, and what you stand for, it's something which is extremely important. And that's a complete reflection of the 2 gentlemen that just gave a extremely nice masterclass, and their results speak for themselves.
Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, as I think I just saw Dan Renz in the comments say, this has been invaluable. Thank you, guys. Yeah, again, there's so much value that highly suggest everyone to go back on this live once it's finished to actually study what Jordy and Zamco took us through, because yeah, it's genuine gold. So yeah, of course, thank you for watching. But yeah, I think now it's time to announce another 5 winners of the 10K challenges. So if possible, Elias, there we have it. He's just popped them up on the screen. So the next 5 winners are Nikki Luck 8X, Aliu Lack C859, Enzo Gutierrez 3022, Badsha Plays 4780, and Pdam Chewy. You are the winners of the 10K challenge. Please, could you send your proof over to alias@brightfunder.com? We just like to see proof of your actual YouTube account, which we've highlighted here. And then once we've verified it, we can proceed in giving you your prize. But yeah, congratulations again.
Yeah, congratulations everyone. Some nice names, and hopefully they will do their best with their free challenges. So I think we just have a few extra giveaway accounts left. If I'm not mistaken, it are still 4 25K accounts and 1 50K account, which is a huge account. And we will give those away after the Q&A with both Jordy and Zamco. So we will be back with the rest of the giveaways at the very end of the stream, right, Ed?
Yeah, exactly that.
That's great, man. That's great. Then I think let's bring the guys in for the last few questions the chat has for our guests.
Yes, let's do it. Welcome back, gents. Nice, thank you. So we're just gonna essentially just see what the chat is up to, because we've had a bombardment of messages throughout for both Jordy and Zamco. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna pick out a few ones and then just ask you some of the questions that the chat has. So right, if you're in the comments right now, please be sure to drop any questions, anything you'd like to know about trading, anything you'd like to know about psychology, how to handle prop firm accounts, literally anything to do with trading. Please drop it in the comments, and then I'll go through and pick a few of them out. Right, let's see. We've got a question from Starboy, and I think this is open to either of you. When scaling up, how do you stop yourself from changing your strategy just because the account is bigger?
It's not something I've never struggled with that. Like, what I'm thinking is, if I'm scaling up and my strategy works, oh wow, I can make more money now with the same strategy because I know it works. So I don't really understand, like, why would someone change their strategy because they have more money, even though they know their strategy works? It's a bit of a difficult one. I don't really get it.
I wonder if I have a feeling they might be referencing how much they risk per trade. That's my understanding of the question. But that's the only thing I can imagine from it.
I guess a good thing you can do is copy. So if you're copying from a small account that you're used to onto a bigger account with the same like correlation, like what's it called, like same percentage risk or whatever, you don't even need to see the big numbers. You can just stick to the smaller account, what you're used to, and just in the background, you know that you're making a lot more. So I think that's one way. That's what I can think of.
Yeah. Jordy, what about yourself? Do you find yourself ever changing like the amount that you risk per trade once you've become funded, or just have a bigger account to play with?
I think it depends on what your win rate is. If you have a high win rate, you can really play with your risk. I think Zamco risks like full drawdown of the account, because also it depends on how many payouts that you got. And I think if you have gotten a lot of payouts, like let's say 10K, 20K, well, you can buy a lot of funded accounts for that. And in that case, you can scale up the risk to 2%, or for Zamco, he has that crazy amount of payouts. He can, of course, risk the full account because every prop firm challenge for him is a stop loss, right? Basically. Probably the same with your challenge, like the 2K that you flipped. It's just you see the 2K as your stop loss. Like it doesn't matter to you, the 2K, right? That's why you're risking a lot. So that's something that I always use. Like, how many payouts have I gotten? Okay, I can buy 5 200K accounts or 5 100K accounts, whatever. And then you can trade them with 2% or a bit more risk, depending on the rules of the prop firm, of course. But then if you have a losing streak and you're copying and you're using higher risk, that's something to be aware of, because you can lose. And I think Zamco can speak for that as well. You can lose a lot of funded accounts at once, right?
Yeah, I lost like 2.6 million funding within the same week.
So there's pros and cons for it. So if you're not ready for that mental challenge, I wouldn't really put the risk at. If you have had all these payouts, you can do it because you're okay with it. But if you haven't been there, don't up the risk that fast.
Yeah, great advice. I see a question here from Lucas Tropic, which is quite interesting. It's what is the most common distraction in the trade and education space? Where do traders lie to themselves? So I'd say if we focus on let's say the first part of the question is, what do you think is the most common distraction in the trade and education space?
That they can make money very quickly. I think that they'll become profitable very, very quickly. It takes a lot of time. Even if you learn a very simple strategy like mine, your eyes just don't see the market that way until you do it again and again and again. Then you start noticing these things. Sure, when you're back testing and you're marking it up, you can think, oh yeah, I see that there. But okay, when it's live markets, you don't see these things because you don't have the experience. So even if you're learning a very simple strategy, just know that it does take a while to get used to it and actually start seeing these things live in the market as it's printing. So I think, yeah, people think that it can be quite quick. So that's a distraction, I guess, to a strategy.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Jordy, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think a lot of beginning traders, whenever they take a loss and they see something, they're immediately changing everything for that one loss. I think that's a big distraction. Like when they're trading, they have some kind, however easy the strategy is, they see some kind of flaw, but that flaw is acceptable, right? But they keep changing things, and in that way, you're always changing the outcome of something that could be a high statistical edge. So that's the thing I've done myself, like switching strategies too much, like taking a loss on now it doesn't work anymore. Okay, I gotta change things up, and in that way, you never actually get a consistent result. So how are you gonna be consistent?
Yeah, and I think you just answered the next question I was going to ask. There's Christopher. He asked, "How do you know your strategy is the strategy for you?" He says he's learned and traded over 20 plus strategies, each per month, but he's still unprofitable. They work for some time and then stop. So, what would you? Because I'd imagine there's a lot of traders that typically go through this strategy hopping phase. What is the number one advice you'd give to a trader like that?
It's easy. It's not the strategy, it's him.
Mm,
That's just the easy answer. It cannot be that 20 strategies don't work, but it can be that there's other strategies that work well. Like our strategies, we have an understanding of what is happening, and then otherwise you have like mechanical ways of trading. But it cannot be that there's 20 strategies that you've tried. Did you really try them to the fullest? And then maybe try to understand, like what I see is just a victim mentality, right? These strategies don't work. It's the same like saying the markets are against me. It's not the strategies, or I'm not sure which strategies he tested, of course, but if it's been 20, there must have been something profitable with it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just a matter of not sticking to it long enough to actually see the results. Like, for example, even my strategy, I feel like it's the best strategy in the world. I'm just going to say it. I feel like I have one of the best strategies in the world. But does it have its losing periods? Yes. In July and September, 2 months back to back, I kept losing. But I understood that if I stick to this, I know the moment the market cycle is in my favor, I'm going to make it all back plus much more. And that's just having trust in the strategy and just going through the down phase, because you're going to go down, but there's also going to be up. So I think it's just sticking out the the losses, just staying in it long enough to see it through and seeing the edge play out over a long period of time. Trading is not a quick 1 or 2 month get rich. No, it's a long period. It takes ages. You just have to stick to the same thing again and again every single day. It's the same as going to the gym. You're not going to work out for 1 month and now you're going to be like all ripped and everything. No, it takes ages. But throughout the process, you don't see these results every single day. You're not going to see your app coming in the next day. It takes a while. So I think it's just, yeah, you're right, just sticking to it long enough to see the results.
Yeah, spot on. It's the famous quote, isn't it? Rome wasn't built in a day. And I'm sure the Romans had a lot of issues when they were actually building Rome itself. So you need to be there till the very end. Of course, that's if you have a trading strategy that has like a statistical edge. But as part of that, there is no strategy in the world that won't have losing periods. So if that's what you're looking for, then I think there's an issue there itself. You just need to be accepted. And Jordy, I know I always reference this in the first podcast we did back in Jan. Best loser wins. It's exactly that. You have to be able to accept losses, and once the ego dies, the soul awakens. Again, another quote I got from you. It's if you attach the winning side of things to your ego, that's where things can really go left. So you really need to make sure that you've got your psychology straight, so that you can execute your strategy, and then at the end of the year, you can reflect back on the data and go from there.
To add on to that one, I think it's quite simple. The relationship, it's also from the book, the relationship you have with losing is automatically determining where your success lies.
And how, probably one from me, how do you build that resilience to losing, or that acceptance to losing?
You have to go through it. You have to go through it. There's no, I cannot explain you how ice cream tastes, for example. You just have to taste it. It's the same with losing. I can explain you, yeah, I felt bad, I was crying, it was horrible, I had to work my job, but you've not been there. You've not felt the losing. You've never lost a funded account. You've never lost a payout. You've never had a firm go down on you. You have to go all the way in the rabbit hole and experience these things, because that's how you learn, how you build resilience. It's like going to the gym, like do a hard workout and really get used to it. That's how you build resilience. And I can explain you everything about losing and how bad it feels, but you won't have any experience with it. So when it happens, it's going to feel new and you'll have to learn.
Exactly. Nice. We've got a question here. What are your top 3 trading books? Zamco, heading to you first.
I don't read, so I don't know. I don't read. I got no clue.
Movies.
Yeah, I watch more movies. I think I just like visuals. I really don't like reading.
No,
but
that's
it's something
fair.
I need to start.
No, you've got $1 million in payouts. I don't think you don't need to start, man. You're good, man. Jordy, what's your top 3 books? I know you're avid
Easy.
reader.
Yeah. Trading in the Zone, Best Loser Wins, Power of Now. I think that's the top 3 for me.
Nice. So you guys make sure you go and buy those books. And then we'll take 1 or 2 more questions. So let me just quickly look through. Let's see.
I don't take partials, by the way. I see a person keep asking that. I don't take partials. It's all or nothing.
Was that hard initially? Like, were you always never taking partials type of trader? Or
yeah. I
really
couldn't take partials. It felt like I'm missing out. If I take partials and price continues going up, oh crap, I just missed out on making more. So I just never did it.
No, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Oh, we've got a question here. Mindset is 90%, or is this BS? So I think, is psychology 90% of trading? What do you guys think? What's more important, technicals or psychology?
It depends. If you don't have a good strategy, then just don't bother trading. But if you do have a good strategy and you know it, then the rest is literally all psychology. Other than that, it's hard to say that psychology is 90%, because again, if your strategy is bad, then no, it's not 90%. Your strategy needs to be improved. But yeah, so they both go hand in hand, I would say.
Nice. Jordy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's the same. It's like if the strategy isn't well, like if it's a bad strategy, your psychology is going to be shit, and you have no confidence in your strategy, so automatically you're going to have issues. And then if your strategy is good, and then it becomes even harder, because then when you see it fail, you'll be like, but my strategy should work. Like this trade should work. So then it becomes a bigger issue, I think. But it starts with having the balance. Like you cannot have one of two things. You cannot have a good psychology, and if you don't have a good strategy or a decent strategy, then I'll just be happy and losing. Well, it doesn't. It's not going to bring me any further, right? And also not making money and having a lot of frustration. So it goes hand in hand for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Totally agree as well, man. I think totally agree with what you both said. And I've actually seen a question, more of a personal one. What is both of your goals in trading? Like, where the final chapter? What does the final chapter of trading look like for you both?
I want to leave trading. I don't like it. Everyone knows this. It's just so annoying, honestly. Because yeah, sure, when you're winning, it feels great, but when you're losing, it's horrible. So I honestly would just want to leave trading, but I just want to make enough that I don't need to trade.
Something tells me you'll never leave trading, though.
No.
It might always be there in the back of my mind.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so you want to leave trading? That's the plan to exit. Jordy, you got a similar plan, or is
Actually, I
it for
do.
life?
I do love trading, and I love the winning part of trading. It's very dopamine high, and as Samko said, it's really fulfilling to knowing that you have a talent and a skill, and you just press some buttons from anywhere, and then that's really fulfilling. You're like, what? How is this possible? How do I get this payout with just pressing a button? I've been waiting all day, just press the button, and you get a payout. But the thing is, if we talk about health and stuff, it's very stressful. And I think that's also something for Zamco, if you're sitting all day behind the screen and you have to, it's a lot of waiting, a lot of, unless you swing trade, but for Zamco, it's different, I think. That's why I don't actively day trade, and I just swing to make it a little bit less stressful. But I think in the end, the goal should be, and that's what I'm trying to build, to get passive income, like invest, have some real estate, do some smart moves with the money. And that's what I'm doing right now. So whenever you have a bad trading month, I just have some stocks or stuff that are crypto. Well, let's not talk crypto. That's not the best investment right now. But my stock plays are doing well. And that's the thing that I like that feeling. Like I have to do actually nothing. I just buy it, and then you can invest, and it's like no stress. It's because you come from a trading environment. So that's the end goal, to have a couple of million just running passively. And I'm trying to build that, and just because I'm not going to be trading when I'm 50 or when I have a family or when I don't want to be in this high stress environment. So I think that's a nice end goal, to have a lot of capital built up that you have just passively have like a 50K, 100K month without having to trade. I think that's the end goal for me.
Yeah, love that 100%. And again, wish you guys literally nothing but success, and I've got no doubts you'll get to where you want to get to. Zamco, I don't think you'll get to ever leaving trading, but we'll see. Once you've got your 20 million account, yeah, you might think about going into somewhere else. So we'll see then.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, gents. I just wanted to quickly run a super quick segment. Bit of a fun interactive game with the audience. Essentially just going to ask you guys, would you rather? And I think we've played this on the podcast before. Again, super easy, chill. Without too much thinking, I just want you to give one answer, and also the chat, please give your answer in the comments. First one is, would you rather trade only on the 30-second time frame or trade only on the weekly time frame?
30-second, easily.
30-second, yeah.
30-second. Okay. Comments. What would you guys prefer to trade? Only the 30-second or only the weekly time frame? Let's see what everyone prefers.
Because I trade the 1 minute already all the time. So if I just half it, it's not that difficult. Like I already trade the 1 minute. I'm just trading half of it. Like,
Yeah, that's
no big
true.
deal. I'm still following structure on the 1 minute, whatever.
Okay. It seems that, yeah, most people seem to agree. The majority is 30 seconds. I think I saw someone say, if you want to enjoy life weekly. Yeah, I can imagine that. Next one is, would you rather have perfect entries or perfect exits?
Yeah, perfect exits always. My entries are easy. It's just I never know when to close. Actually, no.
Yeah.
I know when to close. I just don't. So that's my fault.
So are you changing your answer?
No, my exits. That's what I want to. I would rather have perfect exits.
Okay.
It's really bad for me.
Yeah, perfect. It makes sense because if you have a good entry, but it moves like a couple of pips, so yeah. So the exit is the most important one, because a lot of times you see trade just like the trade we did in the beginning part of the webinar. Like if you could have known that it would have dropped all the way to the bottom, yeah, it's a huge difference from 3R to 17R.
Mm.
Okay, nice. Next one is probably a bit more personal because it depends on whether people are better at executing buys or sells. But would you rather only short in a bull market or only long in a bear market?
What?
Only short in a bull market because those random collapses keep happening.
Fairs.
Price drops quicker than it goes up, so that's why I'd rather short in a bull market.
Okay, I'm seeing a few longs in the chat. Jordy, what are you
Jordy,
thinking? You're torn. He's
I'm
torn.
like when all people think there's a bull market, of course, then I like to short the market. That would be my answer.
Okay, perfect. Next one is never zoom out or never zoom in.
Oh.
These questions, man.
Do I never want to zoom?
Never zoom out for me.
Yeah, never zoom out. Never zoom out.
Okay, nice. Comments. Let's see. Never zoom out, never zoom in, never zoom in. Okay, it's looking 50-50, never zoom out. Both, fair enough.
My entries are on the 1 minute, so if I don't zoom in, I'm not doing anything. I can't do anything.
True.
I have to zoom in.
Okay, wicked. Just two more now. Trade one pair forever or switch pairs every single day.
One pair forever.
One pair forever.
Okay, nice. Comments. Let's see. One pair forever or change pair every single day.
Now, if we're changing pairs between like 2 or 3, then no problem. But if you're saying like literally all the FX pairs one after the other every single day, oof, no, thank you.
that'd be a nightmare, innit? Okay, I've seen one pair, one pair, one pair. Yeah, one pair. Okay, cool. And last one is never see candle wicks or never see candle bodies.
Never see candle bodies. Wicks are the most important thing.
Okay. Oof.
Because that tells you the end range of each side. The body is kind of irrelevant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually easy. Yeah.
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 Okay,
yeah.
So never see bodies again. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing never see candle bodies. Never see wicks. Okay, wicks is making a comeback.
But if you don't see the wick, how would you know where the low of that candle is? How are you going to know where to put your stop loss?
Good point. Yeah. Okay, and that is it for the little segment. I think it's always good to do a little game. Just get your brain thinking, because some of them really do make you think about. If it was like that, it would be quite interesting. So yeah, thank you so much, gents. Again, just wanted to take a time out just to, really appreciate you both always coming on and just giving so much value to the audience. Also to myself, because I always learn a lot from you both, whether it's psychology, whether it's technicals. So yeah, I see the audience really loved all of the segments today, and I'm sure a lot of them are gonna go back to see both of your strategies to better understand the philosophy and the mind behind it and what it actually takes to hopefully reach a level of success that you both have had. So again, thank you so much, gents. And yeah, hopefully onto another in-person podcast in 2026. I'd love to set that up.
Yeah, can't wait.
Definitely, man. But again, thank you so much, gents, and we'll catch up soon, okay?
Perfect. Thank you for having me. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for having us, man.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Yes. And we're back.
All right. That was a great one.
Yeah, no, that was super
fun
good.
game at the end.
Yeah, hopefully the audience liked that. I saw a lot of them engaging, so that's really good to see.
That's very great, man. That's very great. I think another very valuable event. with some
for
great
sure.
knowledge shared by both gentlemen. So very great work. On to the next one. Probably
Yes.
in the next year.
Yeah,
The new year.
100%. Yeah. But I think now it's actually time to announce the new giveaway winners. We will be giving
Yep.
away 4 25k challenges and also 1 50k challenge. So Elias, please could you list the winners up on the screen? Perfect. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, the winners of the 25k challenges are Lucas Tropic, X7B, Big Papa Smurf 3621, Tekken Long, and Salis Taferi. So congratulations, you guys have won the 25k challenges. And the 50k challenge, the winner is Ivayo Belev. So again, huge congratulations. You guys have all won a free challenge. As mentioned previously, please be sure to send the proof of your YouTube account to elias@brightfinding.com. His email is in the description that you see on the screen, so that we can essentially verify the winners, and then you will be receiving your prize for today. Of course, thank you very much for engaging, because I know you guys have been asking a lot of questions and I recognize a lot of your names. So yeah, thank you very much for giving us a lot of food for thought throughout the entirety of the live stream.
Yes, thanks everyone. Thanks for attending. And I really hope that everyone soaked up a lot of knowledge, soaked up a lot of value for their strategies and their trading, because the guys shared some incredible knowledge.
Yeah, 100%, man. And of course, as you mentioned, on to the next one. Hopefully we will do one early 2026. So make sure you stay tuned. Again, we'll likely be giving away a lot more challenges. So yeah.
Little
again,
New Year's event.
Exactly that. To start the year off right.
I think we also have some great things to announce early 2026. But first, let's end this year strong.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we're in the middle of our Black Friday week. So we have the 30% off plus 85% payout split Black Friday promo running. So if you didn't capitalize yet, please do, because it's definitely the biggest deal that we run this year, and it's most probably that we're not gonna run these type of deals anytime soon. So if you want to start your Bright Funded Challenge, now is really the time. And the rest of the year for us, it's also to strategize for 2026. We already made basically the complete strategy for 2026. Eduardo also know that there are lots of interesting things coming up, especially for our traders already early 2026, which we will announce very shortly. And I can only say that 2026 will be a very interesting year, and will definitely be the year of Bright Funded. We already made our mark this year, and especially the last few months, we experienced extremely nice growth. Of course, also with NT5 onboarded. But the plans we have for 2026 are definitely groundbreaking. And the industry is ready, we are ready, and now it's time for execution to make the user journey for our traders at Bright Funded even more rewarding and even more enjoyable.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect way to close it out.
Definitely. Thanks, everyone. Still want to wish you a lovely Wednesday. Good luck with your tradings, and we'll see each other at the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
See you at the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.